WK 102.3 FM, licensed to New Bern, North Carolina. News, information, community awareness, education. The Mary Perkins-Williams Show.
Good morning, radio audience. I am alive in the studio of Awesome Radio Network, and I'm so happy to be here with you today. You know, this is April Fool's Day. April, springtime. That's what you think about when you see April. This one I was be talking about, I wanted to be sort of right in with the seasons, something like the environment. So I looked at the news last night, and I did all kinds of things, and I heard the announcement on the Weather Channel saying something about snow and ice. So I tuned in, turned the TV up. It's somewhere west of us, and if it came straight across, we would be in that cross freeze. But the weatherman at that time, it was coming out, they were saying that it would go slant and go up north. So I pray that it will go up north, because I do have plants up out of the ground. I have my mustard set, as I told you last week. This is Awesome Radio, and I'm Mary Perkins-Williams. Just happen to be our county commissioner, and thank you again for your support. I want to talk about the element of growing, developing, and doing better for who you are. We have a lot of knowledge sitting at home, and they think they have nothing to do. And I really did turn this telephone off, but it doesn't listen to me. It listens to that woman out there that can want to drive me crazy. So I don't know what to do for it. I'm hitting power off again, power off, and it came up Samsung. Maybe it'll stay off. But what I want to share with you, we were talking about gardening and that sort of thing, and all of that environmental came out of the gardening. Am I going to the store to get my bottled water? Now, mind you, you read the bottle labels, and it tells you that it's fresh water and blah, blah, and where it's from. So you think that that water would be good for you, because I do know that there is PFAS in a lot of water. And one of these days, maybe I can have someone come in and talk about the environment and PFAS. I also heard that tonight or sometime tomorrow, there will be another spaceship. Because when I walked in the other room, no one is at home with me. So the television become the person who talks to me. So I heard that there is going to be another space trip to the moon, because this is the anniversary of the first moonwalk. So it seems, what the weather said, in 1968 or 9 or something like that. So as a senior, we have, over the period of years, gathered a lot of knowledge. There are a lot of teachers, and I want to say, who are home listening and feel like they're just waiting. And I don't know what they're waiting for. They need to get out and do a little something. And I always say it's good to find a spot in your yard and plant a collar, a plant, a collar plant. And you can have collards for the rest of your, and as a senior, you don't have 1 or 2 people in the house. Your grandchildren may show up. So maybe 2 or 3, not more than 5. It won't take you more than 5 to place a color plant in a sunny side of your yard. If you don't have a yard, get an old pot that you don't want to use. You shouldn't be cooking in those pots that have that coating in it. So when you stir it after a period of time, the coating will come off of the pot. You see the metal, and where the coating once was, where you're eating that coating in the food that you cook. And that's not good for our bodies. That's not good for our bodies. Hello out there in the social media land. The owner of this show has talked me into doing social media, and I'm here and I have a guest today. But I want you to know that I'm not too friendly about social media because to me, and I have old ideas, I suppose. Some of them are new because my children tell me I'm a trip, and I tell them they were the vacation, and so that's the way it goes. So I want to say hello to all of you. My guest has arrived, and we're going to be talking about the environment. I made a confession last week that I drink bottled water, that I don't drink the water. Back in the day, we didn't have running water. We had a pump, you know, where that handle goes up and down, and you do it like that. If you're on social media, you see, man, the handle go, and then it might lose its source of water, and then you pour some water in, you pump it and get it going. It's a manual process. Well, now we have modern technology. You may not have everything, but you have more than back in the day had. And it seems like back in the day, people, I don't know where they got the knowledge. But number one, my ancestors was uneducated, second and third grade, and my father could walk out and predict the weather almost right on the tee. And my mother was not geographically inclined. She'd get you lost if she's giving you direction and you were driving. But so my father was that in the family. And as a country girl living on a farm, and my father didn't have any males. He had males that come by or whatever. So all of the girls had a sense of, I might probably got more than anybody else because I'm a change of life baby. And y'all know what change of life babies are because most of the seniors tell me, I heard you. And some young folks too, young adults said, I like your shows. And I said, well, sometimes I get off in a tangent, but and like I am now. And I do have an article that I was going to read the first column or two because I knew my guest was going to come. And he must have been right around the corner because it's quick. He's here. And I'm so happy. I had said PJ was coming. And PJ has found this gentleman in the Pitt County. Yep, he's got a purple Pitt County shirt on. So he's from Pitt County, and his name is Kent Keeter. And he's an environmental health. And I didn't know he exists. That goes to show you, Pitt County is huge. And yes, we are talking about big county. Yes, the county staff. I don't know. It's more than 1,000 because there's always somebody in a cubbyhole somewhere. But PJ said he would be much better for talking about water, wells, and what we take in our body because he said, Miss Mary, you drink bottled water? I said, every time I put something to my mouth to drink, it's not the faucet, it's a bottle. And I keep it everywhere. I buy a bottle. If I don't drink it, I don't ask anyone who come to my office to do something there that I don't do because I'm surviving. And I'm a wonderful age of wisdom. I'm a wonderful age of wisdom. And if you know, I just finished a campaign, and thank you for your votes, but I'm going to tell you, I'm a wonderful age of wisdom. And I have no problem with telling you to whom I belong. And my father and mother, earthly father and mother, are dead. So I have to depend on the woman in the sky and the whatever is in the sky that directs our sense of humanity. See how I put that? And I don't know where that came from, but it works. So I have Kent.
Yes, ma'am.
May I call you Kent?
Yes, ma'am.
Kent. And Keter is K-E.
E-T-E-R. Yes, ma'am.
So when I say, well, two E's, that's Key. Oh, yeah, Key. And it ain't Key. So, hey, I got that good. And most of the county officials know that I have a slight impediment and they know that I am not good with names. May I call you Kent?
Absolutely.
Thank you so very much. So here's the first thing I want you to do is to introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your birthplace, where you grew up,
Yes, ma'am.
and how you got to Pitt County.
So my name is Kent Keeter. I'm the Environmental Health Director for Pitt County, so I work under the Health Department. We're a division of the Health Department. We oversee all the, most everyone understand that we oversee all the restaurant inspectors. We oversee all of the on-site wastewater. So if you have a septic system in Pitt County, then we permit those. We oversee all the permits for drinking water wells and irrigation wells. So that's why PJ asked me to come today, was because he knew that I have a little bit of knowledge about the wells.
You got more than I got. All I know is to drink my water out of the
Yes,
fountain.
ma'am.
But I cook. I
I'm still
cook with the
learning.
water from the faucet because I feel like the heat does a little something extra
Yes.
to it. Okay, go ahead. Don't let
And
me
we
stop.
we also do mosquito control.
Oh,
So that's under my purview as well, in child daycares and schools, and we do a ton of things in environmental health. But we just like I said, I'm happy to be here, and I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to come sit with you today and talk about these things. I really appreciate it, and I'm very happy that you invited me to come.
well, I'm very happy that you accepted PJ's notice to come to this show.
Yes, ma'am.
And I do break in every now and then
That's okay.
because I like being impromptu and I like coming off the cuff. And when I invite the professional in a field, I know I'm going to get the truth.
We could.
So
It's a
I can fake
conversation.
it a little
So
bit.
we
It's
can
a
have we
conversation.
can have
Oh
a conversation.
yes, absolutely. You go for it, man. Yes, sir. And I didn't know that there were so many young people looking at the show until I bump into them, looking at, because they love social media. I want you all to know that you have to be careful about the social media as your source of knowledge. Some things are true and some things are not. And a whole lot of it is hearsay and somebody and sharing information from walking around on the street. So always be careful. And if you do use social media as a knowledge, you ought to at least say where it is, because then I'll know that I can believe it with a little bit of grain of salt. And that's the way you should take it. And the internet is a good source if you know who's putting the information on in the computer. Computer does not have a brain. It has a memory. And that's a little piece of plump, thick rabbit. And I want you all to know that, young folks. A computer does not have brain. It does not have the capability of think. It has a capability of dealing with formulas that is put in by some human brain. So that's the way it works now. Now, quote, social Facebook, because all of you talk to me about Facebook. I think it's those walking animals with 2 feet and telling you something for what they feel for the moment. So we're going to listen to the professional here.
So I do want to tell you just a little bit about my story.
Great.
And it's wonderful hearing yours, and I know there's lots of things that are different between us, but the things that we share, I think, is amazing. It's a wonderful thing. So I'm originally from Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina.
Roanoke Rapids, right down 95. Hey,
right
alive,
down the street in
95.
Halifax County. You know, my mother was in public health for many years, and that's kind of what brought me into environmental health. But I came here to go to ECU. Many years ago.
What you call many?
Many.
Now, I was born here. I
I don't have that on you, but
Okay.
I did come in the early '90s.
Early
very
90s.
early '90s to come to ECU.
You came right after Hurricane Floyd? The flood?
Floyd was in '99. So,
Yes, it was.
So that was the Monday after Floyd was the first day of work with Pitt County. So
Oh.
I was kind of thrown into the fire. And
Oh,
with
yeah.
water. I was thrown into the water.
Yes. and north of the river flooded.
Yes, ma'am.
Flooded. We couldn't even get to Greenville. Matter of fact, to get a loaf of bread, people was telling me that they were driving to Williamston and everywhere else.
Well, I showed up on my first day and they didn't know what to do with me because all of my paperwork was on the other side of the river.
Ah.
But it worked out.
Well,
But
see, a little bit of knowledge
a
helps.
little bit. But yes, ma'am. But I came to ECU. I got a degree in geology.
Oh,
And I did a lot of work with groundwater.
geology,
Yes, ma'am.
mapping of the earth.
Is a science of the
Of
understanding
soils,
of the
of the
understanding
earth.
of the earth.
All right.
And its history. Yes, ma'am.
Uh-huh.
And then I got a master's degree in geography dealing with erosion and sediment in agricultural fields. So that was kind of my background with my master's.
Erosion.
Yes, ma'am.
I tilled my grass my garden area last week, and I went from north to south and south to north.
Yes, ma'am.
That's the way I did it. That's where the directions of my rows. This year, I've decided to have it east to west in the same spot, so that the rotation will be a little bit different.
So,
Is that a good?
not a bad thing.
Okay.
And this, I went and I got a job. I actually started working in Wilson County after I graduated. Well, I was still working on my master's, and I worked there for about a year. And a position came open in Pitt County, and I decided that I was living here anyway. And my, my residence, my social life, all my friend network, everything was here in Greenville. So I decided to come, and I've been here ever since.
Oh,
99.
wonderful, wonderful.
Married a girl from here, so
Ooh,
I got kids here, so
ooh, go
I'm
ahead now.
tied to Greenville
So he's
now.
not going anywhere because them children has a lot to say about where
No,
you
ma'am,
go.
Not anytime soon.
Age must be not that. Your children don't boss your household.
Excuse me?
They don't boss your household.
Well, to some extent, all children boss every household. But,
They do. And grown children are something telling you so what they
Yes,
do.
ma'am.
So we have a very good show, and if we're talking about a subject that the people are interested in, I'd like to have you come back
Okay.
as a return, because we're already about ready to end this first segment. And she used to have a big clock on the wall, but this is the clock here,
Okay.
and we've already about to take our first break at 3 minutes. And so we know a lot about you. And thank you for coming to Pitt County and deciding to have Pitt County your place for paying taxes. I don't like taxes. That's why I said it. And this is tax month. Tax month. Now, we're going to talk about water.
Yes, ma'am.
And the community celebrate opening of a new plant. And I call it Christine. Christine's is what, because CHRIST is Christ. EYNE is so
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
how I do it. And I do have a slight impediment. So I do use my, back in the day, AEIOU and
Yes, ma'am.
sometimes Y and all that. And the Y has the E sound and the I sound and whatever. Anyway, that's old education that works still today.
Yes, ma'am.
And a strong basis for right now. So we do have a new opening, but I drink bottled water. I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you do have to come back, do you have a good, strong knowledge of talking about PFAS?
I know just a little bit about PFAS, and but it's not the biggest concern that we have here in Pitt County. It's not like up on the Neuse River Basin where they actually manufactured it, and it was discharged into the river for many, many, many years, and it was just not, the science really wasn't able to even know it was there because it's difficult to, it's just difficult to measure. And now the science is called, we know it's there, we know it's in really high concentrations on the Neuse River, and we know that it is a material that does not easily break down. It is a very stable, they call it a forever chemical because it's very difficult for it to break down. It can get into your body through the drinking water, and it is now known to be, and there's hundreds of different chemical
That composes.
well, it's 100 different chemicals that are all kind of known as PFAS.
Okay.
I mean, it's a sort of a class of chemical, but they are dangerous. They've been linked to certain health ailments and possibly cancers. So, but that's kind of my knowledge on that. But we're lucky we don't really have a whole lot of that here.
Okay.
So
We have a few minutes before we take a break. Now you know what PFAS is. Now I learned about PFAS in a training session in Washington, D.C. So we're going to be a little bit back, and I think I'm going to do this article as the break time, which is a very short time, and you'll find that this clock winds down real quick. 10 seconds to go, and we are getting there. This is the Mary Perkins-Williams Show, and we will see you in a few seconds. Thank you.
Awesome Radio Network is gearing up for our annual Mother's Day and Father's Day gift bag giving for the residents at McGregor Downs Health Center. $10 will sponsor one bag. If you would like to donate towards this community event, contact us 252-756-3137. And together we can show the love of Jesus, encourage and brighten the hearts of the residents during their stay at the McGregor Downs Health Center, Greenville. Donor's name, organization can be attached to the cards if desired. To learn more about this annual community event, contact us at 252-756-3137. That's 252-756-3137. We are a 501c3 organization under Community Care Fellowship doing business as Awesome Radio Network, where God gets the glory.
The Lincoln City Family Reunion is back. For almost 20 years, former residents of the Lincoln City community in Kinston have gathered on Memorial Day weekend for food, family, and fun. This year's reunion will be held on Sunday, May 24th, 2026, from 11 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. at Holloway Park, 101 North Myrtle Avenue in Kinston. Everyone is welcome. This is a free event. There is no fee to attend and no fee to set up. The event is child-friendly and senior-friendly, and there will be security present at the event. Participants return yearly from all around the country to attend. Everyone is welcome. For more information, visit the Lincoln City Family Reunion Facebook page or contact Ronnie Simmons at 856-986-5101. That's 856-986-5101. The Lincoln City Family Reunion.
Hello, my name is Tracy, and you're listening to Awesome Radio. Thank you.
Awesome Radio. Yes, awesome. News, information, community awareness, education. The Mary Perkins-Williams Show.
Admin 23.
Oh, we are back. Oh my goodness, I'm getting to know this new. Now look in the skim. You know, people want to see your eyes. But I want to see eyes because I don't do what. Let me tell you what, a very interesting guest. And I work one department all the time because you all know I have issues with trash. And to me, that has a lot to do with it. So trash, and I'm still getting used to the social network because I don't care for it. So we have Awesome Radio Network is a female-owned African-American person born in Bertie County. I get it wrong every time. So I'm going to stop talking about where she was born. But I know I was born in Pitt County. But she is here, and she is the head person for Awesome Radio Network, and that's a good person to get to know, Akila. The community recently celebrated an opening of a new company, a company that changed its name from UNX to Crystallines. This is what I'm calling it. It's spelled Christ, CHRISTEYNS. And it was open, the ribbon cutting was yesterday. So same building, different company, changed its name. Now, this is Environmental Month for us, and we're going to talk about the environment. And today we have a guest. So we're going to run into this, and we're going to talk about the impact of this company. But it's changed its name to a company that has the word Christ in it. So it should be good for us. And it makes soap, I understand, from our guest today. And we want to talk about the environment. Snow was mentioned in the news last night, and I thought we were finished with it. But it's in the north of us because we didn't get it, and we have pretty beautiful 13 miles an hour wind, but we have beautiful weather, and it feels good outside. And I'm going to be, when I leave here today, I have an appointment to go walking in a field with a lady who wants to show me some things. And I promised her I would go because I had an emergency Sunday, so I couldn't go on Sunday. And I had 2 pairs of shoes in my car after I left church. I put that old pair on so I could go walking out with her as to what she wanted me to see in this area. We have a lot of sand digging in the north area of the river because we are prone to have the best gold called sand now, different from the gold back in the day, which was gold. So it seems that sand is a real profit for people, and the solar panels as well. As we age, we find those things that make life easiest for us, but gives us an income. We have food insecurities. We have food insecurities, and the government tells us that. But a lot of people can't get out of the house, and the children don't have time for you. So we found a way to use our land to help us have the resources we need. Now, even the stores are picking up the groceries that we want and bringing them to our house. So today, I would like for this environmentalist to share with us his background, the things that he do for Pitt County. And I was just talking with someone on Old River Road yesterday about child care and the fact that we need more, because I passed this resident that once had a child care business and it's no longer there and it's not in use. So the young folks need to work so that they can put money into the system to help pay the old folks. That's basically what it is in this country, and it's a statement of fact. So if you don't have a good job so you can pay your taxes, it impedes the way the country operates, because the country depends a lot on taxes, and it's not something we like, because we really never own anything because we must pay tax. Now, you talked about you talked about being an environmental person, Mr. Kita, in the Department of Health. I serve on the board of social services currently, and that's a board I've been a part of. I grew up in that board on a way because my parents had foster care children. But listening to all this social media and everybody, I don't drink the water because I went to a training seminar in Washington, D.C. for the Federal Legislative Conference, and I knew that PFAS is spelled P-F-A-S, and each letter stands for something. But everybody call it PFAS. Don't ask me what the letters stand for because I don't remember that. But I do know that we were told North Carolina has the highest PFAS in the nation. And this is why a lot of old folks get those phobias and we drink bottled water. So he has underground wells for water. And I think with this last ARP, we are getting infrastructure from the previous federal administrator because water is a source of life for human being, the human animal. And I want you to all know that we're just animals. That's what we come out of my biology. We're animals, but we have the highest intelligence, supposedly. We do some dumb things, but we have the highest intelligence for animals. and to make sure that we fall in a good segment, the county hires those people with backgrounds for what we need. So PFAS, drinking water, well water, tap water, which comes from a company that pushes it everywhere in your county and state, and inspections is what Mr. Keita today deals with. I think I hit it good on the head. And so we're almost ready to go out of this segment, and we're going to talk about the differences in what you deal with as a county person who helps keep us healthy and help keep us as well as they can, because you're out of the health department. And the health department is that department that is not as medical as we think, because we talk about health, not as medical, but drinking water is one of the top things that keep us well, and exercise as well. So those are two things, and the social services is the one that provides services for the human body that you don't get from the natural. Did I do it right?
I think I'm muted.
Oh, okay. Did you mute? No, you're not.
I'm not muted.
Can't
Okay,
go
I'm
back.
good. All right.
So your microphone is live,
Awesome.
and then you can give us a quick run in this minute what
Okay.
you actually do, and we're going to come back and talk about it.
So I'm just going to talk real quick about the drinking water that the people in Pitt County get. It's generally going to be one of two sources. It's either going to be a municipal water coming from a company or the government, GUC. They have a water treatment plant. Some of the smaller water companies like Stokes and Bell Arthur, Eastern Pines, they have a mix of groundwater and water from a water treatment plant.
Okay.
And those are regulated through North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality. So that's a different group. They do municipal water treatment. The other source for people in Pitt County is going to be groundwater, and those are going to be drinking water wells that somebody has in their yard. And so I'm going to be more a specialist on the drinking water wells, and I'm going to be on the public water supply side.
Okay. And there's another kind of thing that we have is the sewage.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we have 7 seconds, and I look forward to get back into our discussion for today. This is the Mary Perkins-Williams Show.
The Real Treasure Worship Event Center, a sacred, peaceful space designed for prayer, worship, and meaningful gatherings. More than just a venue, the Real Treasure is a living room to the city, a place to gather, rest, connect, and encounter God. Located at 410A Evans Street, downtown Greenville, please contact us at 252-412-3169 to set up an event.
Health Pro is a licensed home care organization and a trusted provider of in-home care services with skilled nursing and personal care services. When your elderly parents live alone, there are many things that can be done to make general housekeeping and personal care easier. We are located at 408 West Arlington Boulevard, Suite 101C, Greenville. At Health Pro, our services provide a relief for the aging and the disabled population who prefer to recover in the comfort of their homes. Our services expand beyond the normal, and we are currently serving 17 counties in eastern North Carolina. Veteran personal care services, companion care, sitter care, respite care, private pay home care, pediatric, adolescent personal care services are just a few of the many services we offer. Health Pro, a local, trusted, leading provider of in-home care services. 252-364-8114. That's 252-364-8114.
Thank you for listening to the Awesome Radio Network. Visit us online, awesomeradionetwork.org. Choose the station you would like to listen to on the radio dial or online. Awesome Radio. News, information, community awareness, education. The Mary Perkins-Williams Show.
Thank you very much. Welcome back. And if you want to call in and ask any questions, the number to call is 252-7 256-200, and I didn't bring my thing in here. 2008. So I got it right. And I was trying to go on my brain, and y'all know it doesn't function as well as I like for it to sometimes, because a lot of things is floating around up there. So we have a guest today, Kent Keeter, out of the Environmental Department at the current Health Department for Pitt County. And Pitt County is looking at the facts of whether or not it will be better for us to bring the health in and environment in with the social end of servicing people. Both departments services people, and I don't know how I feel about it, but it's something we'll be talking about for a little while. Not right away, but we want to talk about it so you can get exposed to why it may be necessary. All right, Mr. Keeter.
So we're a little different service inside of the health department because we are the regulatory arm of the health department.
I like that.
So we issue permits. We make sure that if you are putting in a septic system, or if you're drilling a well, or if you're operating a restaurant, that you're doing it within the laws and rules of the state of North Carolina. So we issue permits for people to do that, and we can actually revoke permits have permits suspended if you do not do what you're supposed to do. So we're a little different way of looking at it, but our job is to stop problems before they happen. So
Now, you just heard what he does. I like that. That just gave me an education. I just learned something. Because as long as your brain never stops learning, that's a good thing. Do you have the right to issue fines or fees or whatever?
we do not issue fines, but we can take you to, so if someone has a failing septic system and they refuse to fix it, then we can take that to, we can go legal action on that and actually take that to court.
We are getting a call on our call-in line. You're live and on the air. Caller, please, if you want to share your name or you can state your question.
I want to stay anonymous, but I got a question for your guest.
All right.
I live in a neighborhood, and my neighbor got raw sewage, and there's something going on with their everything. It's raw sewage on top of the ground, and it's been like that a while, and I want to know what can be done.
Well, number one, I'm going to help him a little bit since I can say whatever I want to, and I usually like sharing this, so listen to this. Number one, we're going to need your name and telephone number because that's a health issue and a problem that exists for you and your neighbors. And I can understand why you're calling because raw sewage does affect the smell as well as possibly a body. Am I right?
It is a health concern. So we do take complaints and we do investigate those complaints, and we will actually move towards getting people to fix their systems within the law. So if you can absolutely give us a call at our or go online.
The numbers?
252-902-3200.
Now, I like to have that repeated for this caller. She did not give her name.
And
So
don't
you
have to-
give your you give your number slow
It's
because
Yes, ma'am.
somebody 90 out there is listening. He's
Yes,
a
ma'am.
regular listener.
It's a 252-902-3200.
Did you get that, caller?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you so very much for calling. We're happy to have you listening to Awesome Radio. This is the Mary Perkins-Williams Show, and today we're talking about the environment, and our guest just happened to be from...
Thank you.
Is there anything else you like to say? Wait a minute, don't go. Was there anything else?
No, ma'am. I just like to get that taken care of, and I don't want this. I don't want my name to be
I
mentioned.
figured that.
because-
Yeah, and we-
That
we-
much
we-
I figured, so when you come back, you can call him directly. That's why I had asked him to share your name, okay?
That's our office, and you can give an anonymous complaint there.
I have one question. Is your bed that you sleep in Pitt County?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I just want to make sure you were a resident.
Yes, ma'am.
You are a resident, a legal resident of Pitt County. So you can call him, and you have the number. Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay, so we had our caller. So this tells me that the people, I've not heard her before, are listening to our shows. And I do like bringing the officials here. And as a county commissioner, I know not to lie to people.
Oh, no, ma'am.
Okay.
We're not going to do that.
And I like telling the truth. So I like sharing information, and that's my background if you didn't know it. I am a information specialist with a master's degree. Now here we go. We cut you off. What can you lead into with that?
So, like I said, we do oversee septic systems, but I'm going to try to talk about well water today.
Okay, let's do it.
So, PFAS, it is a chemical. They use it in hundreds of thousands of things. Everyone's heard of Teflon. Teflon was made with the PFAS. It's a polyfluoroalkyl substance. It doesn't matter what that means. But there's like 14,000 different chemicals that fall into that grouping, and they use it for cookware. They use it for firefighting foam, Scotch Guard. They would put that on your furniture back in the day. They used it in everything because it would repel water, raincoats. So like
that
I
was
said,
a good example right there.
Yes, ma'am. So it's everywhere because they manufactured and they made those things, and they did those things everywhere. Every time they used firefighting foam on a car that was on fire, they polluted a little bit of PFAS in the area. So it pops up everywhere, but we don't, like I said earlier, we don't have quite the issues they have on the Cape Fear down near Wilmington, where it's just downstream of where they were manufacturing it. So we're lucky in that regard. But it does pop up here and there all over the place, and you may never know exactly where it come from because it stays there forever. It might have happened.
And it comes out of the ground.
Yes, if someone poured if someone spilled a bucket of something, years ago, it may be there. So it pops up here and there, but it's not it's in our water.
It comes
It's
from
everywhere.
on high. Can I say that? On high, you know what on high is?
I don't know that it rains
a
down.
god or whatever that comes out
Well, we made
from
it.
we made that?
We made.
Okay,
these
so
these
it's man-made.
These are synthetic chemicals. These were made for purpose. These are this did not just appear. So, but
That
so-
is good.
so-
That is good.
So I'll go like I'm gonna stay with the wells.
Mm-hmm.
When you need say you don't have the availability to tie on to GUC or to Stokes Water or to Bell Arthur or Eastern Pines, and you need well water, and there are most of the county is on those systems. Probably over 90% of the county has availability.
Now,
but
my
there are
area-
areas that do not,
Yes.
and they're clustered in your area. A lot of them.
Now, my area used to have the well water for coming out of the ground because of it's placed there from that before, and people still use it. And then we have had to put in water because the water was not appropriate for human consumption and human use. So when we had a person to come before us one night to say that he had to go to a family member house because his doctor was concerned that his bathing technique of taking a shower did not clean his skin enough to give him his dialysis.
Okay.
And the skin shows residue that they had to clean before he could do that. So he had to take a shower somewhere else. And so we were fortunate enough to use some grant funds to correct that problem in that area. And then we didn't get it all, and the staff was knowledgeable enough to get an additional grant that we got all of that from that area. This is why it's good for you to know that you should listen to your government channel, and they rerun a lot. The government channel, you know the website. I can screw it up. Give the website.
I believe it's on pittcountync.gov.
pittcountync.gov, and you can find all these things listed as long as you're on pittcountync.gov. in your internet search field will come up pittcountync.gov, and you will get it. Now, that's a good way for me to remember that, because it's not all that long stuff I've been trying to remember.
So,
pittcountync.gov. Now, everyone has a telephone almost nowadays. Even these babies, I'm afraid to see one come out. They might have one in their hand, a telephone. But here's the thing: those telephones are computers, so you can search Google and some other internet source to get good information. Your government is supposed to be, and I'm saying supposed to be, giving you truthful information as far as the professional know at the time. Now we've done that. My district, the area north of the Tar River for the most part, has multiple forms of water consumption. Swimming, we're getting warm, right?
yes, ma'am.
You accidentally swallow some water sometimes. You might get strangled. And that's what I call, not that you're trying to take it in or drink that swimming pool water, but it can happen in your diving and stuff. That water is an additional addition for the PFAS that your body may already have.
Well,
Not a whole lot.
they're probably not very much in that at all.
There you go.
So I'm gonna go back to the wells. We can talk about pools later if you want to.
Go ahead.
But if you have a well, you're gonna have one of two different types of wells.
That's
And
good.
you're gonna have a shallow well, and I'm making it very simple, or a deep well.
The difference between them we need to know.
Yes, ma'am. So, and it goes to kind of the geology of the land that we're standing on and how it's built. A shallow well generally is a well that's drilled, and it's going to be anywhere from 25 to probably 75 feet deep. And the water coming out of that well is going to have a little different characteristics than the water coming out of a deep well, because the water's coming from different places. So when it rains, water will seep down through the soil and it'll percolate through the soil, and it's cleaned up, naturally through the process of moving through the soil, and it creates what they call a water table. So when you dig down and you hit water, that's your water table, and that's what you're doing with a shallow well. So you're going in and you're digging it deep enough, and it's getting the water from deep down, but as it rains, it recharges that shallow aquifer. It's not under pressure. Gravity is pulling it down, and when you dig that hole, it's coming into the screen on that well, and you're pumping it out. And you can get a lot of, if you have sandy soils down there, you get a lot of water through those wells.
Now, I saw when I crossed the bridge this morning, the mud on the side. The water had receded.
Yeah, so that's going to be the river water.
The
yes,
river
ma'am.
water. And we do use some of that water
Well, the
that's
the river
filtered and cleaned and stuff.
Well, the river can recharge the surface aquifer some. It could also water can move from the ground outside into the river. So it's kind of dynamic. It moves back and forth.
I like to ask one question. We are going into the environmental upgrades like solar panels and the windmills.
Yes, ma'am.
They are drawing something out of the soil or something, or are they?
Your windmills, they're going to be attached to the ground. They got to be anchored to something. So there's going to be an anchor point there. But they generally, it's the wind that turns those, and you're transferring the energy into that wind into electrical energy. Your solar panels, of course, they're going to be bracketed to the ground as well, but they're going to be transferring, the solar energy coming from the sun is going to hit those panels, and there's going to be reactions in those panels that transforms that solar energy into electricity, and then the wires will come out of that and tie into the
Does
system.
your office have anything to do with
We do not.
solar panels?
We do not.
Is it regulated by any place in Pitt County?
I know that the planning department, they have to be zoned properly to do it, and that's an issue. It's got to move through the public zoning
Okay.
process, and But as far as regulatory, I'm not aware of, of any
Now,
local regulation.
here's what, if you agree to come back, I would like to get statistics, because to me, those figures that you put in produce information for me to determine some things. And I'm what they call a visual person.
Yes, ma'am.
Or a person who know from the, I'm a farmer's daughter, just as country as I can be. So I would do, who here in Pitt County, because we have a lot of requests now for solar panels and digging the wells. And the reason I'm bringing that up because my area is the source for a lot of ponds.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'd like to have you come back and share with us, because it seems to me, if we got 4 minutes
Yes,
and
ma'am.
and we'll be leaving, our good time runs away so fast, even though we do an hour on the show. But she has to make and gather some people who pay, because you and I are not paying any money to be on this show. We are paying money in other ways. Information.
Can I finish off the wells real
Yes.
quick? So you have your shallow wells, and then you have your deep wells. And your deep wells are what they call confined aquifers, and those are under pressure. And those are not connected to, with confining layers, those are not connected to that water source on the shallow wells. So there's really two different types of water you can get out of the ground. Both of them
I didn't know
can be
that.
very high, absolutely perfectly fine for drinking.
Oh, we're supposed to be looking at that.
But yes, ma'am. But your surface aquifer will pick up some iron. Sometimes you'll get the iron stain in. Sometimes you can get some sulfur in it, and you'll get a little smell from your water. It's aesthetics. It's perfectly fine to drink generally, but it may not be as high quality of a water as the deep water. So when you get down in those deep aquifers, you'll have a better aesthetics to your water. It's a better it just comes off, it tastes better. It doesn't have the dissolved minerals in it that you do in some of the surface water. But we have very good groundwater in Pitt County. We have very, very good groundwater, even from both our superficial and our
Is
confined
that your
aquifers.
feeling or your facts?
When we install,
Very good groundwater, because
When-
I
when-
drink bottled water.
Yes, ma'am. When you get a permit to install a well, and it's installed, we do sampling. You pay for sampling as well, and that's sent off. So every drinking water well in Pitt County is sampled for bacteriological contamination, nitrates and nitrites from farm runoff, and we also do chemical samples. We check for lead and arsenic and about 20-some different chemical constituents of that water. So yes, I see most of the well water that comes into Pitt County is of very excellent quality.
And the bottled water that I'm drinking.
We don't know where that comes from. Was that from it could be from the Detroit Municipal Water Plant. So read your water bottle and see where your source is.
Good.
It'll tell you on there where it's bottled.
That's exactly what I do. And I have read my water label, and I know what it is, but it disappears where I get it from, out of the store. And I was concerned because one day I couldn't get the bottled water that I was accustomed to and have read, so I don't want to keep reading all the bottled water, and then I don't want my mouth to get me in too much trouble. And I do say some things off the cuff that cause that it may not be exactly there, but as far as I know, everything has a price tag. Everything has a price tag, and the price tag should not hinder your well-being. That's the way I look at it now. And I'm not saying that that's the facts, but that's how I look at it. Because I pay my taxes. I don't own anything, but I pay my share of what I'm told to pay. And so in the meantime, we need to know that everything has a price tag.
So some bottled water is better than others. So and sometimes the price isn't the higher price isn't always the better water. So
We got
just be
10
sure you look
minutes
at
to
your
go.
bottle.
Goodness gracious. Now, Seconds. Are we coming back? Okay.
Well, thank
This
you.
is it, and we're coming back from you.
I'll-